So Hollywood actors are imbeciles. If you didn't need, a reminder of that, anyway. Fran Drescher is shocked by negotiation breakdown. The strikes, and it's so unfair, so disrespectful. You're striking. They don't have to be fair. They don't have to be respectful. What are you talking about? You utter imbecile. These people are just so childish. So if you didn't know, ladies and gents, basically what happened is, right, the AMPTP and SAG met, studios, etc., met to essentially try to end the strike, to get the actors working again. The studios had previously said, here's a great deal. This is now our final deal. And then they've gone back on some of it in this latest deal. I actually think their latest deal is all right, to be perfectly honest. It deals with residuals. It deals with basic wage, things like this. It doesn't really deal with AI, which I think is a massive point of contention still. I think that still needs to be addressed hugely. But largely, talking about streaming residuals and things, it's largely the same deal that the writers got. And I think, looking at it from the perspective of the studios, when a singular actor can get upwards of $20 million for a movie, and then back-end deals, they're going to be pretty pissed about giving them even more money. Especially if said movie, didn't make money at the box office, for instance. So it lost money, and then it goes on streaming, and then they have to pay the actor more money. So I can kind of see some of the studio's argument, actually, and I'm sure, hopefully phrasing it like that, you can too. I'm not on anyone's side here. I think both sides are equally as comical, but I just think Fran Drescher, this is your president. This is the Actors Union's president. She is such a moron. So she did an NBC interview for Today's Show, and Fran Drescher called the AMPTP's walkout on strike negotiations this week wrong, unfair, and disrespectful. They don't have to. They don't have to negotiate with you, actually, at all. And this is the point of strikes, and what people fail to realise. Look, that's life. Tough titties sometimes, unfortunately. You go on a strike because you didn't like the offer you were given previously, right? Because that's what they've done. And then they said, well, you've offered us a worse deal than you did before. Yeah, that can also happen. You absolute twat waffle. So she said the following: it really came as a shock to me, because what does that exactly mean? And why would you walk away from the table? Fuck it. Do I have to explain this to you, Fran? It means that they're no longer willing to negotiate with you because you're strong-arming them. And they're like, well, nah, we're alright for a little bit, actually. See you later. What do you mean? What do you mean? What exactly does it mean? Why would you walk away from the table? Because that's called negotiation tactics. Why has anyone put this woman as their president of the union? She clearly is a moron. And she goes, it's not like we're asking for anything that's so outrageous. It doesn't matter, though. That's business. And I'm not saying it's right either. But that's business, you child. And it's so funny as well, because these actors, they love to purport sort of, socialist ideals and things like this, and yet obviously reap the massive benefits of capitalism. You are living capitalism right now, Fran. They don't have to do anything for you. It's so wrong and it's so unfair that they walked out of the meeting, and so disrespectful. Piss off. So Drescher added that the AMPTP reps talk at you. They really don't want to hear what you have to say or why you're saying it. I don't think they don't have to care either at this point in time. So yesterday's Netflix's Ted Saranda said during a Bloomberg Screen Time event that SAG-AFTRA had asked for a levy on every subscriber to streaming service, which led to the breakdown in talks to end the actors' strikes. Which does make sense for some of the streaming services, like Disney Plus, for instance. If actors had a levy on every subscriber for Disney Plus, that would bankrupt them, because Disney Plus doesn't make money. It has actually not made a single penny for Disney. Literally no money at all. So he said the following: last night they introduced a levy on subscribers on top of other ideas. And he called it a bridge too far. I would agree with that. I don't think that's a stretch. Again, take the example, ladies and gents, that a lot of these movies fail at the box office. They do. They bomb. Right? And so the studio goes, well, at least we'll have content, I guess. But bear in mind, they've already paid the actors a lucrative amount of money, millions, tens of millions. And then the actors are like, well, actually, no, we deserve money where that's been streamed as well. No, if it doesn't make any money, you moron. What are you doing? Anyway, meanwhile, SAG-AFTRA has cancelled picketing in New York and LA today due to concerns over potential safety related to the situation going on in the Middle East. How? What? How? Oh, well, I guess that's that fantastic diversity for you that's going across. Your multiculturalism that, you know, the Anglosphere, you can't even go out and... How does that affect anything? My God. Anyway, absolute nonsense. So, yeah, they're not doing anything now. It's, a massive joke, but they're like, oh, we're so shocked. It's unfair. It's not unfair. Who cares if it's unfair? Business doesn't have to be fair. Negotiations like this don't have to be fair. That is actually the risk you take. It is the risk you take when you walk away from a deal that's previously been offered to you. It does mean that, unfortunately, that deal may no longer be up for anyone to grab. But that's the risk. You took that risk. You should not be the president, though, because you're a moron. An absolute epic moron. And bearing in mind as well, the AMPTP can do this for a little while longer. They've probably got about 3, maybe 6 odd weeks, something like that. Maybe a little bit longer before they really have to consider trying to get the actors back. Because for any project that, you know, is new anyway, for instance, writers are they're just coming back to the table now, so they're just starting to work again, or will be anyway. And so that takes a little while to get going, and then they're going to want to start casting actors. So they've still got like 2 months or so before they have to even be bothered with these idiots. God, actors are so fucking stupid. Again, look, I understand the AI situation. Certainly, I accept that. It's an issue. Get it under control. I accept that. But the deal that they offered him was pretty decent. It wasn't a bad one. It wasn't a bad one at all. You know, they got reasonable kickbacks. So it's a bit, I don't know. To see that it's unfair is just nonsense. Absolute nonsense. So it is what it is. But yeah, bully tactics, apparently. They were bullied. Oh, God. Cry me a bloody river. You know, misrepresentation over revenue and sharing proposal. Yeah, okay, cool. And so this is actually what they got offered, right? Just as an FYI. It's not bad. Where is it? So... oh, they've changed the article now. Before it wasn't like this. They actually had the total amount there, I think. Or maybe it was here. Well, at the end of the day, it's not, you know. The deal itself seemed pretty reasonable. It was on par with what the WGA got. And also the DGA as well, just as an FYI. So it does seem like they're... I don't know. Anyway, I don't care about this. These people are idiots. Fran Drescher's a moron. Oh, I don't understand. Oh, the actors need to get someone on board that does understand why.